Hi there guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plunk production. I've got a nice bottle of Coke here and I'm going to take a nice swig of this. And I suppose if I've got a drink that's caffeinated that starts with the letter C, I think it's time for a Coke. Yes. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you are doing really well. It's currently 10:58, so 2 minutes to 11 on Sunday, the 12th of November 2023. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you're doing really, really well. Me, I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing really, really well. I had last week off work and I've got next week off work as well. It's my birthday Thursday. Things are good at the moment. I'm really happy at the moment and I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a TFAC, a time for a Coke rather than a time for a cuppa. I've done this in the past. I just couldn't be asked to go and make a cup of tea. The funny thing with it is though, as I was setting up to shoot this video, I was thinking actually I could quite go a cup of tea right now, but actually I can't be asked to set up to make a cup of tea just for this video. I'll probably make one a little bit later. And go from there. So just wanted to talk about some bits and bobs in this video. So the first thing, and you guys have seen what's happened, is I've tidied up the spare room. That took 3 days, not consistently 3 days. I actually started it on the Monday last week, had got quite a bit of progress done on the Monday. Started again on the Tuesday, and I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon I started feeling not very good at all, to be honest. So I waited a couple of days before restarting it, and then when I restarted it I completed it and it's now looking really good. There is a kind of a vlog series I've got going on in the background. I'll probably stitch all the clips together at some point and release that as its own vlog video. It will be quite long, probably 30-40 minutes, maybe longer than that, but at some point I will release it as a vlog so you guys can see the progress. I didn't do a starting picture or a starting video. I just did it when I was sort of almost done to be honest, but nonetheless that's out there, and I did that for various reasons. The main reason is to now have a space to properly record videos, to have a space to play those board games, to record those board games, I didn't say that correctly the first time. More on that in a moment, and just to have a nice space. There is quite a considerable echo in that room because there's not much furniture in that room, and I am thinking of ways to try and help the echo. Basically, long story short, I either need to find my Echo Buds 2 to be able to use those as a microphone, or the other option is maybe take my headset upstairs, plug it into the laptop I've got up there, which is a HP hybrid tablet thing, and record the audio using the headset and then just stitch the video and the audio from the headset together, merge it together that way, sync it however you want to call it, and go from there. There's probably other way of doing it for the meantime until I can find a way to maybe help the echo. It's just the distance between me and the camera means there's room for that echo to happen. The reason why this room doesn't sound nearly as echoey, there's stuff in the room, and also I sit far closer to the camera, which is my phone essentially, so there's not as much distance between me and the camera, which means not as much echo gets picked up on the video. So because of that, all of those different elements, that's why that room sounds quite a bit echoey. So I'm thinking of ways to maybe eliminate that echo or get rid of the echo. There are ways you can do that in post-production. There are what's the word? I want to use the word prefabs. There are settings that you can save that you can then apply to your audio afterwards, but I always find when I try and do that, it sounds artificial. It is artificial at the end of the day, but it just makes it feel not very authentic in a weird way. The other way of doing it obviously is to buy a mic of some description that could probably plug into the phone or what have you. But one thing that I would like to leave free is the USB socket on the USB-C socket on the phone in case I want to run the phone wired while I'm recording if I want to do a longer video. Another option of that, though, is of course, if I don't want to store it on the phone itself, is I could stream using the phone straight to YouTube, because you can use the streaming function, and do it that way. In fact, there's a lot of YouTubers nowadays that simply just stream a video and then they download the video and edit it and then re-upload it again afterwards. Ready Steady Play does that. Serial Midnight now does that. A couple of YouTube channels that I personally watch that do that. So I may just do the same thing. Who knows? I'm still thinking and working out how this is all going to work. On the board game front, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in a video recently, but I'll mention it again. The person who is selling me a whole board game all-in bundle called Deep Madness, I've also agreed to buy Resident Evil 2 off of him. He's been really nice, to be honest, and it's basically turned around and said it doesn't matter when you pay the money. Once you paid all the money, let me know what it gets applied to and I'll send out whatever you've paid off first, and then we'll go from there, basically. So he's basically saying that there's no time limit to how long I can take to pay off the various stuff I've got coming from him. So that's really cool. It's really nice of him to say that. He understands that people don't necessarily have hundreds of pounds to just throw all over the place at board games. He certainly doesn't nowadays. On that note, I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to pay for Resident Evil 2 with my birthday money, or whether I'm going to put it towards something else. One thing I have been looking at quite actively over the last few days is some kind of emulator handheld. So the main one that I was looking at for a while was an Amberneck device. I'm now looking at the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus because there's quite a few popping up on the Facebook Marketplace. There is one local to me. However, he wants quite a bit of money for it that I'm not necessarily willing to pay. So they're $160 brand new. They are shipped either from the US or from China, depending where you get them from. Shipped from, that is, and he wants £150. Well, he wants £160 for it. He's willing to go down by £10. Ooh. Which seems a bit pricey for me for a second-hand device. He basically wants how much that would be brand new, when, in my opinion, yes, I can go and get it right now, because he lives within my city, obviously. But why wouldn't I just buy a new one for the same price, to be honest? It seems a little bit odd to me. I'm also going to talk about a little bit more now about, I've talked about entitled sellers on my channel many times before. This is another instance where there's been a couple of occasions recently looking up these emulator handhelds. There are two types of seller you get on Facebook Marketplace. You either get the one that's willing to work with you, like all the people with board games. All those board games I got, they're now upstairs from that lovely gentleman, and the guy that's helping me when it comes to Deep Madness and Resident Evil 2. Fantastic. Those people seem fantastic. In fact, the whole board game community seems really nice, actually. So that's something. But you also get some people that get really entitled with what they have. They think what they have is unicorn shit, basically. Or they think it's something really valuable, and that you're going to bend over backwards to meet their needs. I was hoping he would come down to maybe £130, something around that amount, and that means I could also use another part of my birthday money to get something else that I wanted to get. But obviously, he said I'm only willing to go down to £150, and even that is a bit of a stretch. I don't get the people who sell items on the Facebook Marketplace for the same price you can get them brand new. There's somebody on Facebook Marketplace who's selling a Switch Lite for more than you can buy it brand new with 2 games. Okay, there's 2 games with it, but in contrast, there's someone selling a Switch OLED for £30 less than you can buy a Switch OLED brand new. In fact, it's the limited edition Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED, which goes for much more than that. if it was still sealed. In fact, they could probably get close to 350 for it in the right circles, to be honest, because it's a limited edition, custom, not, well, yeah, it's custom, themed Switch. They're selling it for £280, which is 30 less than a Switch OLED is. Switch OLED's 310, I think they are. And it comes with 2 games. One of which of those games is Tears of the Kingdom, which is still a £50, £60 game. So, you know, in contrast, you've got someone who's selling a Switch Lite for £40 more than you could buy one brand new. And there's 2 games with it, whereas there's someone who's selling a Switch OLED for £30 less than you can buy a Switch OLED. It's a themed custom Switch OLED, and they're bundling 2 games, one of which is still a £60 game. I just don't understand people that 2 moments. That price things on Facebook Marketplace for the same price you can buy one brand new. I mean, at the end of the day, they're only shooting themselves in the foot, because that person's just going to go down to the local game store or have you just pick one up for the brand new price, and they get a warranty with it and all that good stuff. Again, I just think some people think they have something that's worth more value than they think it is, and thus they heighten the price of it up. So yeah, I have spoken to a few people who are selling these emulator handheld consoles, and it's a toss up whether you get someone who is what's the word, willing to work with you, or one that just says you're going to pay this or not. I've actually got something of my own up on Facebook Marketplace at the moment. It's my Akira manga bundle, the box set. I haven't really decided if I'm going to part with it yet, but this woman has been contacting me over the last 5 days. She always contacts me at 5 PM every day for the last 5 days or longer than that, and doesn't follow up with any further conversation until yesterday, when she basically, are you interested or not? You know, you shouldn't be dictating to me how I pay for the item, and you shouldn't be dictating to me how much postage is. Shouldn't I? I'm selling the item. Of course I should be dictating how you're going to pay me, and of course I'm dictating how much postage is going to be. I'm paying for postage at the end of the day. So she was awarded with the block, obviously. But yeah, it just seems to me some people are very entitled on that platform. But this is to say that I'm looking maybe for an emulator handheld. I was considering buying, and still am, a hacked Vita. There was one on Facebook Marketplace that I could have gone and got, but it's now sold. It was fully hacked, fully ready to go. But I'm sure I can find one fully hacked, fully ready to go, in the price range that I may be looking for. You can turn the Vita into an emulator console if you wish to. It's not as powerful as modern ones nowadays, but of course it can play any Vita game or any PSP game flawlessly. So there is that with it as well. And I have wanted a Vita again for a while, so we'll see where that goes. The thing about the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus is it does run Android, and you can run streaming apps on there. What I mean by streaming apps, I'm not talking about Netflix and stuff like that. I'm talking about PS Play and stuff like that. So you can play PC games or console games on a handheld. I can do that with my phone, but I don't have a controller. That's the other option, is to buy an attachable controller for my phone and do it that way. There's a few things buzzing around my head at the moment, as there usually is, but that's what's going on at the moment with me. Not sure if there's anything else I want to talk about right now, but that's where I'm at right now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, my usual ramblings. But until next time, please take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra, guys.